Hi YouTube, this is Kristen Moonrise. Welcome back to my channel. I am a light worker and astrologer among other things. Excuse me, and today, actually before I even get started, I just wanted to say that I am recording on my small tablet, and it's a slightly worse or significantly worse camera quality, but long story short, I messed something up, and I messed something up when it comes to the software that I need for my video editing. So it's just easier for me to, so I can't run my video editing software. So I'm going to try and do this without editing the video, or I can't edit it, and let's just see how it goes. So I'm just using a different device, so hopefully um, it works. So that's why I don't have my beginning and end, like intro and outro thing going on. But maybe this just means that I kind of don't need it. So I'm going to try and see how that goes. Anyway, so we're going to get into this Cancer summer June solstice. So you know what that means. That means that it's almost Leo season. As a Leo sun, the summer solstice just reminds me that it's almost Leo season. We've got Gemini season, we've got almost Leo season, and then we've got Leo season. But I don't know, we wanted to definitely make sure that Cancer, the crab, gets its props. It's very, very important, especially this solstice. So the summer solstice is where the sun holds in place for, it's the longest day of the year, the most daylight on during the year. And this is specifically the northern hemisphere, as the southern hemisphere is experiencing the exact opposite. But this is a time where the sun holds in place for a few days after increasing daylight, and before the days start to get shorter as we get to the end of the year. And it's the start of Cancer season. So, just a little bit of astrotheology. As we know, Christmas. Oh, first of all, I wanted to mention astrotheology because I grew up Catholic, and I'm really loving studying and researching how much astrology influenced Catholicism. So, as we know, Christmas is observed December 25th, a few days after the winter solstice. And so, the winter solstice is when the sun holds in place as the shortest day of the year, the longest night. And Christmas is a few days after that, on the day that the sun begins to rise a little bit more and a little bit more, and the days start to increase a little bit more each and every day until we get to the summer solstice. So the summer solstice um, is the 21st, and a few days after that is the June 24th. And so the nativity of Saint John the Baptist is what we actually observe on June 24th. So I think that's really interesting that these holy days of obligation are placed 6 months apart, um, at astrologically important dates. So, yeah, so St. John the Baptist, June 24th, Christmas, as you know, December 25th. So, anyway, I'm reading my notes off of my phone here. So, this is really big energy, really big manifestation energy. So, again, I will link again my new moon in Gemini video that we just had. And Gemini is all about I think energy. Cancer season is all about I feel energy. And Leo season is all about I will energy, your doing, your action energy. So this is really about tapping into your intuition with I think, and your nervous system with the I feel, and your action, putting everything into plan, really making that step with the I will energy. So I would say that this is a great time, if you haven't already been doing so, to really develop your clair senses. I am a clairaudient. I am clairaudient. I will say that publicly. I've had way too many experiences to deny that about myself. Clairaudient is about clear hearing. So let me know in the comments if any one of these resonate with you. I'm also clairsentient. So clairsentience is clear feeling. You just feel that. So clairvoyance is clear vision, and claircognizance is clear knowing. So we, many of us can, if we're not just tuned into it, we can definitely develop these talents. But and many of us have all of them, and there's even more than just the four that I listed. But this is a perfect time to really tune up on those energies with your clair senses. And so this duration of all this humongous, manifestation energy and the solstice energy, you know, how long does this powerful time really last? I would say, this is the peak of it with the solstice, but it started at the beginning of Gemini season, and it'll end, in my opinion, at the end of Leo season. So we're using these very powerful solar energies to really activate us in different ways to really create the lives that we really want. So I just jotted down a few things. I would say, well, what do I want to talk about with this, with these solar, with this um, solstice energy? What do I want to share? What am I even doing in this energy, in this season? So I just jotted down a few things. I'm just going to rattle them off. This is a time for us to really form and implement our belief systems. So this is no more guessing or horsing around, no more being iffy or wishy-washy about what we claim we want in our lives. Since I've been a part of the spiritual community, like that's all I mean, that's not all I watch, but I watch a lot of spiritual YouTube channels that really just get me in the vibe where I really have no choice. I've trained my brain to really only listen to people and follow people that are really certain and intentional about what they do and what they say and what they are creating. So, I also wrote down here, picture your ideal self. Commit to being that person today. So start making decisions today that will get you to being that person in the future. If you want to be taken seriously, if you feel like you're being dismissed, people look at you and they disregard you, perhaps this is an opportunity for you to, reassess your appearance. How can you look better? Do you need to do your makeup? Do you need to do your hair? Do you need better clothing? Stop wearing busted clothing. There are still people out there that think that that's okay and still expect to be taken seriously. Um, Start dating better quality people. Who we date and who we surround ourselves with is a reflection of who we are. Form higher vibe friendships. I've definitely made that to be intentional. Or do your friends have goals that they are striving for? Are they happy people? They are going to influence you. Follow more self-improvement YouTube channels like Kristen Moonrise. I would absolutely suggest that as the number one channel that you should follow regarding self-improvement. And so, because we are tuning more into ourselves, this is also a time to really accept people for who they are. So, don't try to change people or argue with them, try to change what they're doing or what our expectations of them are. Definitely put that energy back into yourself. They are going to do what they're going to do, they're not going to learn if you try to push them. So it's a sign that you're just simply outgrowing that environment or that maybe you just need to take a step back. I also wrote down, forgive yourself for your past mistakes. You can choose to be a new person today. It's urging you, oh, I'm sorry. It's time to stop questioning yourself. It's time to stop questioning yourself. You know what is best for you. Don't be afraid to carve out a new path. It's urging you for a reason. It's not for punishment, but for you to act. So I also put down here, let your yeses be your yeses and let your no's be your no's. Again, that's just really about being intentional. And I also wrote down here, many times the universe, God, source, wants you to be savage. With growing up Catholic, it's always turn the other cheek, or don't do this, don't do that, and it shrinks you. It really shrinks your power. And sometimes, we many times, we always get these urges that we really want to step back into our power, but the way that we grew up or our religion or our faith tells us that we need to stay small for whatever reason and not rock the boat, because you don't want to be a troublemaker. You don't want to start any problems or anything like that. But you've got this inner feeling where you know you absolutely must change things because it just doesn't feel good to you. You're tired of putting yourself at the bottom just so other people can feel okay. You know, you're okay with shrinking yourself and accepting disrespect just so you can keep the peace. And I think that God or the universe, source, however you want to say it, puts these situations in our path so we can come out of that shell. I don't believe that God wants us to accept disrespect from people just to keep the peace. I think that's really harmful to ourselves, and people start to expect uh, that they can disrespect you at that point. So that's actually kind of something personal that I was just going to basically share on what kind of the theme is right now for me during this winter solstice, this June summer solstice. So as I was tapping into the thinking, intuition, feeling, acting vibes that we're doing right now, willing things to happen, I have realized and I have accepted in adulthood that there are certain members in my family that's just absolutely not a part of my support system. And I think that that's actually okay. I spent many, many years of my life trying to get everyone on the same page, only for us to all grow up and nothing's changed. So I, tapped into my intuition, and I said, well, I always thought that the right thing to do is just to for everyone to get along. But my intuition and what I was feeling was like, no, these are toxic relationships. You have to act and do something about it, because really you're putting yourself last, and you shouldn't live your life putting yourself last behind people that are telling you that they do not care, despite them wanting support from you regarding their things. They're not going to support you with your things, and you've got to determine the future that you want with these people. You've got to set the tone. They can feel it, but you've got to set the boundary within yourself first. So that is one of the themes that I am working with this solstice energy, is really just standing more in my requirements and my standards out of all the people that I interact with, and that it's the same set of standards for family as it is for any stranger. I won't accept disrespect from anyone, regardless of who they are. So thinking, feeling, and then acting. It sometimes the act doesn't mean that you actually do anything. It just means that you have set that tone, you set that standard, you set that boundary for yourself. That's enough of an act, and then you stay. And you solidify that and you live by that from then on. It doesn't even have to be anything that people see you do. It's not a physical action that you do. Sometimes it's an energetic action that you have to take. So I am going to just show you a few oracle cards here that I felt was really good for this solstice energy. So I've got, let's see, inspire here. There's a bit of a glare, but hopefully you can see that quite well. Inspire. So allow your intuition to really inspire you. Really think of the best possible outcome that you want to have for your life, or whether it be a short term, long term. Just really allow yourself to really dream and be inspired by what you can become, who you can actually be in this lifetime. So don't feel bad about, like, oh, your imagination and that's silly and whatever. Be inspired. Imagine yourself in new heights, achieving new things. Don't shut those desires down if you truly feel them in your heart. Be brave enough to see yourself in a completely different position than where you are today. energy. This is pretty much what I had mentioned before in the new moon and Gemini video about your vibes, your frequency. You know, what energies are you picking up on? What energies are you carrying with you? Are you influenced by other people? Are people being influenced by you? Are you energy cleansing? Are you saging your place out, Palo Santo? Are you you know, is your energy clean? Is it friendly? Is your vibe or your aura good? Are you energetically taking care of yourself? Because you self-care, energy cleansing is absolutely self-care. So just be mindful of the energies of people that you're around, places that you're in, and what your own energies are. And that's crazy. I can see my own reflection in the card. Very, very glossy cards. Intention. So, intention, be intentional about your actions. I can't reiterate that enough. The way that we start the life, the way that we become the best versions of ourselves is seeing that and being intentional about making decisions constantly in that direction. One thing that I remember doing a few years back, I was starting my level up journey. I was listening to a few YouTubers and that I still listen to now. And I realized that my clothing was really showing me who I was and what people were seeing. And so I had all these like jeans and, you know, sneakers and things like that. And it's like, you know what? I am a woman and I want more dresses. So I decided I did it in installments, but like I decided to donate much of that clothing. I tossed some that I didn't feel like was worth donating. And I bought all new clothing. Now, like I would say 95% of my wardrobe are dresses. And I'm even at the point right now where my old dresses, I'm giving those away. So it used to be where I was giving old jeans away. Um, Now I don't even do that because I don't have any jeans to give away. Now I might have like a pair of jeans that I might like put on if I like am taking out the garbage or something like that. But basically everything is a dress. So I was really intentional about my appearance and making sure that I came off the way I wanted to look. Now that's not to say that you've got to also have dresses and only dresses in your wardrobe. I just realized that I needed a complete makeover and I was intentional about clearing out a lot of my clothing and putting on clothing that made me feel a lot more confident. And then I became that woman. Power. So I mentioned earlier about, you know, how religion and how our upbringing, it kind of takes our power away from us because we feel like we've got to be small in order to keep the peace. Let your intuition, let this summer solstice energy kind of revive your personal power. If you don't have that, you don't really have anything. So break free and be bold and feel good enough to be brave enough to step into your power. Make empowered decisions. If there's somebody out there telling you that you don't have any power, then stop listening to them. And power does not necessarily mean, and it shouldn't mean anything negative. It just means being empowered to make the decisions that you want to make in your life and that you're taking an active approach as necessary, or even maybe not. Maybe you can even take a step back with certain things, but you've got the power to do it. This means that you're not blaming other people for the outcome of your life or anything like that. You recognize and see that there is something not right or a little bit off about what's going on in your life, and you've got the power. You are empowered to make the decision to change it. Freedom. So you've got the freedom. So that's essentially kind of the same thing. I would say with freedom, and I may make a separate video about this later, but you know, are you really free? Who's making the decisions in your life? Are you reacting to other people constantly? Um, you know, allow your intuition to guide you about really making choices that are best for you and that you're following your own internal compass and not constantly reacting to what you see other people doing or saying or whatever, because you're not free. Um, they're actually leading you. So, and also there's another thing I remembered. There's like this whole concept of matching people's energy. Matching people's energy is not freedom. If you see, so so this topic or this concept is about like, oh, there's somebody perhaps that you're dating, and they're not really showing you the attention or affection that you want. So instead, you match that same level of energy, and you don't show them um, any affection or attention either. I get that, and if and initially on the surface that looks good, but to me, that means that they're still setting the tone and you are still following what they are doing. You're the follower. They're the leader. You're the follower. If somebody is not showing me the affection that I need or want, or if they're being nasty to me, I'm not going to be nasty to them. I'll just disengage and move on. It's not necessarily matching their energy. I'm not so stuck on what they are doing, but I am deciding to, I have the freedom to leave, or I have the freedom to choose something else. I'm not basing my actions, I'm not matching my actions to their actions. I'm moving in the way that's best for me. Love and light for them. But sometimes you got to be savage. But sometimes in this case, just take your energy out of the situation. And that's how you know you're free, because you're not basing it off of what they did first. Create. So definitely get creative about your life. If some things are a little bit dull, then see how your intuition can really guide you into really creating more in your life. Create more beauty, create more love, create more femininity, create more polarity. Create a smile on somebody else's face, or create by doing art or music or something. Really just bring more of these positive energies and be inspired with all these things that are around you. And I really like that there's a spider web on this particular card, because we all know how intricate a lot of spider webs can be. So think about what tools you have now, and how you can get, and what all you can do with it now, and how that can lead you to the future that you want. And the last one, transform. So allow yourself to transform in this June summer Cancer solstice. This is kind of, I would say, like, this is kind of like a midpoint checkpoint on how, on whatever maybe New Year's resolutions you may have given yourself. Have you transformed enough? Or, where are you now? Have you gotten to the goals that you want to get to? Have you, what have you really accomplished so far? So if you feel that urge to really like change, you really need this change, allow yourself to transform. It does not matter what other people say. Oh, that used to be you. This doesn't look like you anymore. I miss the old you. Whatever feels right for you, follow your gut, follow your heart. So yeah, let me just check my phone just to make sure that I didn't have anything else to say. But yeah, this is a midpoint of the year, just to see where you are energetically, where you are in your manifestations, where you are in the creating the life that you want. This is a time where you definitely should assess. I mean, it can be any time, but you can definitely assess where you're willing to, what you're willing to start, and what you are willing to let go of. So I hope that this video resonated. If so, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I also have my website, which is going to continue to, I'm going to continue to add on more offerings and things as time goes on. And I've also have a course listed on my website also, so you can check that out. All of that is listed in the description box. I'm going to have more courses coming up soon, so definitely continue to check in to see what I have to offer. And definitely, you can send me an email if you have any questions about anything that may be coming up in the future, or any requests that you may want me to create a video on. I may just be taking requests also. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.